Hello and welcome to DC Figures and Collectibles. My name is Tyler G of Batman Figs on Instagram, Batman TAS Figs on YouTube, and I am joined as always by my co-host all the way from Stoke-on-Trent, England, and you can find him on Instagram at the.batfan. Scott, how you doing? You're alive. I'm glad to see that.
Hello. Yes, there's no apocalypse going on outside quite yet. It's still
There's no red skies.
not at the moment. No. It's more like the Schneider cut here, where we've got more of a blue, sort of dark blue sky at the moment. No, all good. Yes, not too bad. Not too affected by the coronavirus where I am, but yeah,
that's good.
Still alive. How are you doing? You good?
We have a lot of cases around us, and to be honest, I don't even know how many are completely honest or truthful, or how many people are just paranoid and spreading stuff. So
yeah,
there's a bunch of misinformation along with information. So everyone's
that's
freaking out.
Isn't it? I think the whole catastrophizing of it is really not helping people, and everyone's self-diagnosing with it and thinking the world's going to end. It's just, the actual death to cases ratio is quite small. So let's have a bit of perspective. Yeah. Stay cool and do your best to stay healthy and keep washing your hands.
Yeah, especially if you feel like you're sick, don't go anywhere.
Yeah, that's
if you're healthy, it's a little bit more understandable, but gosh.
Yeah, even if you feel like you're still up to going out, if you're ill, you're putting other people in danger, so don't do it.
Yeah, and then that's our little coronavirus. We'll get that up front and out of the way.
Yes.
We can get back to escaping reality, which is what we like.
We don't do elephants in corners, we do them at the front door, so get that done and over with.
And again, if just like kind of what Scott said, if you don't be in a panic, don't overbuy, don't be selfish, don't be like a scalper. Basically, I feel like
that's basically it. It is real world scalping. Not that scalping isn't real world, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, but I feel like if you're a toy hunter, you're kind of trained for this thing. So just make sure you get there early enough to get your stuff and don't overbuy.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, and then hopefully this works. We can test this. Sweet, it works. All right, so you had a great idea of a weekend, both you and Lewis of the Bat Collector, where you guys decided to take pictures of new figures that you just acquired, which is a great excuse to take all the ones that you just got. And this is a custom, if I'm correct, which we've seen multiple times on the show.
Yeah, custom Shriek by at 37 Customs. Fantastic customizer, makes all of his own DCAU stuff. He has got an eBay site as well, which you can find if you're in the US. You can find that at 37 Customs. I think it is again the same tagline, but yeah, fantastic figure. He's done a great job on it. It looks so accurate, and I'm looking forward to rewatching Beyond again.
It's so clean, just the line work alone.
It is, yeah. Like often when you see some customs, that it can be difficult to achieve that same sort of cleanness that, like you said, the DCAU has. So to do that in a custom figure is pretty amazing.
Now, what are these things? These little grate, because they almost look like air conditioner units as well.
Yeah, they're little grates I bought with the trash can or trash cart, I should say, that's behind it. I think it's from like a farm set or something like that I brought like a couple of years ago, and I just don't always use them. And it's got some barbed wire from eBay and a fire extinguisher with a Dio that I had, and then the bent steel from the McFarlane Superman, which is a great accessory. I was really surprised at how cool it looks in pictures. But yeah,
the ultimate thing that I love about this is just the purple sells it completely, where you just feel like it's all in the cartoon.
Yeah. So the purple tower in the background is Babel Tower, which is from the episode Babel in Batman Beyond, when Shriek tries to take over the city by controlling the sound, and he wants Batman's identity in return for the city's safety.
What
amazing!
What a fitting title too, Babel, since it's all about language in the Bible and the sound. Now this one absolutely blew me away when I saw it, and from what you could see, it blew a lot of other people away. Also, you showed a lot of people figures they never knew existed, as well as just showed every Justice League member in a sick armored suit, which you never see. So this was a lot of fun. When did you come up with this idea? A long time ago?
I did, honestly, yeah. I've had this idea for a while. kind of not long after I saw the McFarlane releases, I was like, oh, I need to get some armored figures now to go with these other ones, and because I'd already got the Alex Ross Wonder Woman and the Alex Ross Green Lantern, which you can see here in the middle and on the far left. And on the right-hand side, we've got the Alex Ross Aquaman, which I saw on eBay, and I was like, well, I'm going to get the McFarlane one, so I got him in anticipation of getting those two. And see where the Batman and Superman fit in quite nicely. I nicked this sword from the Elseworlds Superman figure, Apocalypse Superman, and used that for him because it looks pretty much the same as the Unchained comic Superman and the armor. And just put them all together in a group shot. I did an armored league, and they don't look too bad together.
Is this your most liked photo?
I'm not entirely sure. What is it? 2001. Bloody hell! I'm not too sure actually. I didn't even realise it in past 2K. Yeah, thank you so much, everybody. That's
man. I saw just checking today. I was like, yeah, that's well deserved. And I also want to ask you personally, which one of those is your personal favorite? Do you like just looking at?
That's tough. Probably Wonder Woman, to be honest. Held back to close second, but I think Wonder Woman because she's just a staggeringly cool figure. The sword on the armor, it looks amazing.
I gotta say, just from pure looks, I absolutely love the Under Armour, the Aquaman armored version.
It's really weird.
It's thinking cool.
Yeah, he looks so different, and I love the Alex Ross designs. He does such great designs with the Kingdom Come Superman as well. So many like infamous designs that he's created, and the GL looks brilliant, and
beautifully matted.
Yeah, it was good fun setting this one up. So to get the red glow on Batman, I had to use a bicycle light and put it sort of just below the camera to get it to glow, just to give that extra bit of shine from the Hellbat armor. But I love setting up shots like this. I love doing group shots of Justice League figures or Bat Family figures. Or
brilliant idea.
Thank you.
And also, shout out to Toy Snap who showed what it looks like to put the new McFarlane head on this, and it looks pretty. It makes me want to get the figure now.
It's so true, yeah. And he also put capes on those two armored figures as well, which look brilliant. Hellbat especially. I might have to steal that idea.
So
but
go check it out.
It's fantastic. Yeah,
go see those. If I remember, I'll put a link. I'll try to leave a link. Yeah. Now, this one is one I've been waiting for you to do a picture of him. It was beautifully done. This is really cool.
I'd taken this picture in my garage a couple of weeks ago and just didn't upload it. I didn't really think it was any good. Then this theme came up and I just did a bit of editing on it. And it's okay. It's not the best. It's not very clean, but I suppose it kind of suits the character a little bit if it's not as clean. So, Lewis did some amazing pictures of that figure, and he's done like 3 or 4 now, and they're all brilliant.
I really like that you're showing the ability of the articulation and double elbow. Plus, he's doing this almost looks like he's doing the slashing throat gesture. Creepy.
Yeah, I love the double jointed elbows. I love the articulation of the McFarlane figures. They're fantastic. They really are.
Hopefully, we see more of this guy on your feed. Now, this is a really cool one. Another showing off McFarlane, all the animated line and how it fits in with another previous animated figure you acquired.
Yeah, Validus from JLV Fatal 5. And Validus is a fantastic figure. He's one of my favourites, but I just can't ever find the right sort of picture to use him as a part of. But this one was quite fitting. I took these figures out specifically to take a picture of this setup for this theme, and that was what I wanted to do. And I discovered in the making of this picture that Green Lantern's hands take a lot of convincing to come off.
I was about to say, what is this from?
It's kind of annoying. So that is from at LCMK2, who unfortunately, I've said it many times on the show, but he's disappeared off Instagram. I don't know where he's gone, but if he's listening, please come back on Instagram. And also, a thing I discovered is they're very difficult to stand up sometimes. These McFarlane ones. Initially, I thought they were pretty good, like indoors.
No, those.
But
the hips they get you.
Yeah, they are a nightmare. So I had to use stands on these and then cover them up with some like leaves and stuff.
Oh, really? I would not have noticed.
Well, that's good. That's good. But yeah, I just wanted to test out the articulation as well, like the posing as Superman, and just wanted to really make it look like he was pulling his arm back to ready to punch Validus in the face.
That thing is cocked and ready to go. This is one of the coolest. I really just love the lighting on the natural lighting on these guys, especially Batman looks just jacked, humongous.
Yeah, Batman does look massive, doesn't he, on this picture? I think they really did a good job with them animated ones.
This is what I've been waiting for. Okay, this is what I've been waiting for. This is so cool looking, great angle, way to show off all the accessories, and I even like on the figures. Like, look at the detail of the little hairs, even that's cool. Yeah. So I've been waiting to see this.
Yeah, Commissioner Gordon's fantastic. He's from the Dark Victory line. I got the Scarecrow from that line as well, and I just need to get the Penguin and Robin to complete it, which I will get at some point because they're a 2-pack. But the Commissioner is a fantastic figure. He really is, based off the comic book Dark Victory and also Long Halloween. Really, it's the same thing or continuation of it. And yeah, I've been making some of my own newspapers. So in this paper, you can see there, or if you can't see, I'll tell you that it's. In fact, why don't I just get it? It'll be easier than anything else. It's got like a headline with Holiday Killer on the front of it. It's inspired straight, obviously, from the Long Halloween comic, which I now can't find in here anywhere. Here it is. But yeah, I just try to make some of my own accessories a little bit because it's difficult when you have figures from a line and you don't necessarily have that many to choose from in order to give the picture sort of meaning and depth. So I decided to make up some of my own newspapers. It's very predictable now that the newspaper I want I can't find. However, I'll just show you some different ones instead. So like, here we go, here's one that I made.
That's cool that you actually make them.
Well, it's all backwards, isn't it? And
no, I can see it fine. Harvey Dent.
It's got the Arkham City paper there as well. It's just screen grabs really stolen from online is basically what it is. I'm saying I'm making my own. I'm not really.
But even that, like people are lazy. Sometimes they won't even go through the trouble of printing off.
This is one that I made on my own. I don't know if you can see that, but it's the Seaboard City newspaper. But yes, just making up some of my own stuff to try and give things a little bit more meaning and more depth in photographs.
Well, it looks awesome. I would never. I almost thought it was an accessory that came with, like the little calendar pages.
Yeah, no, I love those accessories. By the way, the calendar pages, they're fantastic.
And this one is so well done. Not only in showing off these, at the time, DC Collectibles, TMNT, Batman figures, but the colors on this are just something that really stands out. It's cool to see all the different variety.
Yeah, I absolutely love these figures. They're unbelievably cool. The Alfred is fantastic.
I love how you did the needles and the medicine on his thing. It's perfect.
Yeah, stole the goggles from the Justice League basic Mattel figure.
Okay, that's where those are from. Those look so cool.
Yeah, they are pretty cool. I literally bought the figure for about £7 just for the goggles. I have no interest in the figure. It looks terrible, but the goggles are a brilliant accessory. And yeah, still got all the Bat family from that wave, which I got to thank Kevin from at Renke Customs from.
Did you sell off the turtles?
I did sell off the turtles. Took a few pictures of them and sold them off because I like them, but I'm not a massive turtle fan. So yeah,
I'm impressed if you got rid of Donatello. Can't get rid. I mean, can't get rid of one of them. I don't even know his name.
Yeah, I
the
sold,
purple one?
Yeah, Donatello. That's the one.
Okay, good.
But yeah, I sold them all off on eBay to a guy. I sold the whole set to him, which is nice. He was very grateful to have them. So pleased that they're going to go to someone who will appreciate them. And yeah, I've got all the Bat family still. They're just staggeringly cool. The Batman is so nice. Amazing figure.
There's another one. There's a few that are. This one, I could have just hit next. This one I absolutely love. Especially, I have this figure. I wish I had a Mr. Miracle. But then you got more new gods, which is just really cool to see all the Jack Kirby's together.
Yeah, I really like all those figures. They're based off the Justice League animated designs, those are, but just put into sort of Mattel Universe Classics style. And then you got Orion. It was a DC Direct figure. It was brilliant, and it's the first picture I've ever taken of him, and it's taken me ages to do it. I brought him at the same time, just to give an idea of how long ago this was. When I bought the orange Dio from Extreme Sets, I got that off Big Bad Toy Store and got the Orion figure with it for like $7. That's how long ago it is. It's probably like nearly over a year and a half, 18 months ago. So yeah, that's a long time, and I just take a picture of him until then. But
two questions.
Yes.
One, did you buy her loose with the weapon, or is that gone?
The weapon's gone. No,
that's what mine was like.
Yeah, no, I brought her without the weapon, unfortunately. But I was considering stealing one of the Manhunter's weapons from the Justice League Mattel figures and using that for her, but didn't look right. Work. So yeah, I just went for that instead. And yeah, Mr. Miracle's so cool as well. He comes with these awesome handcuffs, and then obviously the flying disc that he has.
And then also, where did you go to take this? Because if you would have told me this was like at Vasquez Rocks, I might believe it, because this also looks like a almost alien-like world with the rocks in the back.
So I took it at Malcop Castle, which is where I've taken a few pictures of Batman before. If you're looking at this picture, the castle sort of over the horizon behind us, because I took it at a low angle with rocks sort of purposely in the way. You can't see it.
Getting the most out of the location, that's what you want.
That was really early in the morning, that picture, like 6 in the morning.
That's a lot of light for 6 in the morning.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's getting quite light now, which is brilliant. It's about time.
Now, this one, it's always cool to see this, and it got its due recognition, especially as of late, because it hasn't been shown in a while. So it was cool to see the reaction of all your new followers, and we're like, holy crap, where's this been? But this is just one of the coolest customs, and also just a genius idea on your part of how to integrate the Batman animated series into the Nightmare Batman without just sticking the animated head on a Nightmare body. This is actually really cool.
Thank you. So I nicked the coat off the Joker Expressions pack figure and painted the body of Batman black with some matte black paint. And yeah, just stuck the coat on him. I had to cut the sort of, you'll know, Tyler, the sort of square bit on the inside of the jacket that's on Joker. I had to cut that off with a knife, and then trim the sort of side bits of the coat on the inside with a knife, trim that down a little bit, and it fits quite nice. It's good because the coat stretches out, so it looks like Batman's chest is bulging through the coat, which is perfect.
I would be so tempted to like paint the arms black and throw on a cape and have like an '89 style animated Batman too.
Do you know what? It is tempting to buy another one and have a go of that. Yeah, that is tempting. Maybe with the new figure that comes out, I can paint all the actual suit black and then have the blue highlights on an all white Batman.
Oh my gosh!
Cool. I might have a go of that actually, but it's
just
you
can just imagine. Now, what is this? Oh yeah. The ab crunch is not the best. Is this just like a whip or just wire?
It's just some string, like some nylon string, elasticate string that I just put around it. At first, I was going to use that and like attach maybe a gun to the back of it or something, but I thought no, I'll just leave it on there. It looks okay without anything. It just looks like a gun strap, and then you can hold the gun instead.
I love how this guy named Jack Lear put. He never mind. I got it on. Like he must have been asking how do you get it on. So
yeah,
you've already inspired people quickly.
Yeah, it's very kind and incredibly humbling, and I really appreciate the support on that one. And I took that at a place called the Roaches in Staffordshire.
The Roaches.
The Roaches, it's called. Yeah, it's an unbelievable place. Got so many more pictures to come from that day when me and my dad went out for a walk.
Nice.
I took some figures out with us, so yeah, really, really cool.
Speaking of really cool,
this figure's outstanding. The one
just the lighting alone on it. I wanted to tell you, mate, this is really good lighting. It has a super good glow off the armor, but you could just see how soft it is up here. But there's a lot of detail.
It's weird, for all that the shots I try and do with loads of color and stuff. Sometimes it's nice just go basic and sort of do a portrait picture a black background. I took it with the background you can see behind me with my bedroom wall, and just used a bit of aerosol spray as well. It didn't really do anything, to be honest, but
it might be giving it that glow.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. And I love the head sculpt. It's from 1/6 kit. Brilliant Bruce Wayne head sculpts.
Now, speaking of aerosol, did you use that on this?
I didn't. No, that's Morning Mist.
It looks so sick.
The day was perfect. Although I did do a picture I've got coming up of the Hereafter Superman, and I think it's the most use I've got out of the spray yet with it. So I'm looking forward to having an edit of that and having a look at that.
Well, also got to mention this one because just love the use of these bodies with these figures. It looks perfect.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. The head sculpt for Bruce Wayne was cast by Action Figure Customs and painted by.
That's the shrunken version.
It is, yeah, and then painted by Vinfaith Custom. And I nixed the Hot Toys Batman hand, sort of the arm device that he has when he talks to Oracle. I nixed that and used it as a computer screen.
Oh, that's brilliant!
That
looks sick. Dang, you get to win both ways with that accessory.
Yeah, just nick some stuff from that, and then put the V-Toys Batman at the background in the cave. So just try to keep it fairly simple with that.
Well, at least you're keeping us entertained while we're all locked in our house. Most of us.
That's the thing. We've got to keep on taking pictures for people to try and break away from reality.
Yeah, you can't just watch the news, or else you'll be like, oh.
Oh man, no, you really can't. Not at the moment. It's pretty horrible out there.
Yeah. But that's why we're on. That's why you're watching us or listening.
It is indeed. So here we go. Here's a picture I want to start with, talking of the outdoors. I know this is probably my favourite picture you've taken this week. I just love it's just perfect. Where is this? Where is the location for this?
Now, this is on the other side of the street that I live on.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and because it's we had some unusual amounts of weather. Luckily, I had that opportunity right when mudslide episode was coming up, so I just ran across at night and used the night shot or night sight on my phone, which just allows for a long exposure to get some decent light. That's I think the green light, or it looks blue off of that.
Yeah,
but it's from the street light that's right there. I was like in the bicycle lane of the street because I didn't want to step in the mud, and so cars were probably thinking I was bizarre. But I got the shot.
I think it's pretty cool that you use the night feature on the camera. That's fantastic. It looks really, really good and pretty sharp.
It makes me feel like I'm using a real camera because you and Lewis have the big boy cameras where you get long exposure on stuff. So when I use it, it makes me feel like I'm a little bit using a real camera.
See, the annoying thing is though about a camera is that the setup takes bloody ages to do. Like, there's so many settings you have to mess with. So the simplicity of a phone, I really, really do miss it, to be honest. It's just so much easier to you can spend more time setting up the picture and then get the camera done after. But now I find it's like the other way around. It's weird. But yeah, it's a fantastic shot, that one. The location is just... I
would have no idea what you're even talking about with the settings.
Lewis, who is at the back collectors, helped me so much with that, so appreciate that. But that's a fantastic shot. And this one as well, the Batman and Terry McGinnis picture with the Hellbat in the background. It just looks outstanding, that picture.
I wanted to make it a hint like maybe Bruce was feeling like giving it a go again since he likes to. We get to see him do it in ink when he fights ink. But
it's a perfect idea.
It's always cool to see, Bruce almost go back. That's why I even love the Ra's al Ghul episode where he gets young again. It's cool seeing that in his prime.
Yeah,
but
I love the caption as well on this. Why would you think I'm up to something? That's brilliant.
Because you're Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, exactly. Nothing just because you're a billionaire old man playboy. Then why would you think you're up to something?
I think he would do quite well in quarantine.
Yeah, that is absolutely true. And I want to talk about this figure as well because we were on about this not all that long ago when we were saying that we think this is probably one of the best Mattel basic figures they've ever made. I think it probably is. It's an outstanding figure.
It really is, and it also goes again to show how like the level of quality that Mattel could have been all along. Even back then, they show like how good that sculpt is. It still holds up, and then they just got super lazy for some reason. And
it's an outstanding figure, that one. I actually bought the Mafex Scarecrow this week. But
you've been keeping that low key.
Yeah, he looks brilliant though. I love the head sculpt on that one, and the whole design is fantastic. That's when we get to see the prop.
Oh yeah, we do get to see him finally proper.
Yeah.
But how low is the price on the Mafex?
I got it from Comics and Cocktails for £70, I think. So
it's not
pretty much the same retail price he came out with, really. But he's an outstanding figure.
Better than going up.
As is this one. Absolutely terrific figure, that one. And where's the other picture I wanted to ask? This one, here it is.
Yes. Nice. I've been wanting to do this for a while.
A nice classic Batman picture that was inspired off the last podcast.
Yes, it definitely was, and had me thinking like, man, I gotta dig this guy out, especially that car. I was really happy to find that I still had the glass window for it, because sometimes you just lose those parts.
Yeah, so, very much inspired by the new Batman pictures that we've seen. Really,
and he had a car like Batmobile there. Kind of looks similar.
Yeah.
I also like that the shields. You could almost see the vents. It almost looks like when he says shields.
Yeah. That is true. I know, that's a terrific picture, that one. And
I think I got that as like my 5th birthday.
No way, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And that's probably better than some of the toys that are out there right now.
Heck yeah. It came with a figure. Now they could just be a Batmobile.
And while we're on the subject of sort of 89 inspired stuff, here's a amazing shot that is undoubtedly inspired by that brilliant scene when we stole his balloons.
That's just the absolute prime. When you were a little kid, that's all you watched the whole movie for back then, because to see those last scenes in the street. But yeah, this is a repost, and I wanted to show it again because I felt like I did it so long ago that it was one of my better pictures, actually, from looking back at the old archives. I want to do a repost of this.
How do you do the picture of the Batwing like that? Like, how did you get that to edit?
What I did was, at the time, I went outside, put it on when I had a good daylight or a good lighting where it wasn't too harsh, too much sun, and I put it on a slab of concrete, stood over it, because the concrete is just basically white, so you get a good ability to cut it out. And then just took a picture of a black foam board, took a PNG of a moon, PNG of clouds, and then I just put the plane on there and just scaled it to size, put it over the moon. It was one of the first things that worked out really well in terms of Photoshop for me. So I am extremely happy with this, especially just because it's so hard to take photos of that stupid Batwing.
Yeah, the Batwing's absolutely enormous, isn't it?
It's gargantuan.
It's one of the biggest DC collectible things ever. And,
easily one of the best things.
There's a couple more pictures here. So this one I really enjoy. All the accessories around that you don't really notice, because you're looking at the phone and stuff. You don't notice all the accessories until you sort of take a step back and look at them. Yeah, they're absolutely terrific, the accessories out there.
Thank you. I'm glad that someone took a step back and looked at them. I made sure I had like the Hugo Strange degree on there, since she does have a degree. Yeah. It was fun just looking through all the accessories and coming up with like what would she have just as the character, but also it was funny playing on the social distancing and that with the unfollow thing. And that's the longest thing was the phone. It took like 3 or 4 layers just to do that, because you had to do a Joker one. It's like, I hope someone zooms in and pinches their screen so they at least see the work.
Yeah, you can guarantee somebody would have done that, wouldn't they? And zoomed in and said, "Oh, that's not right." There's always that one person that does that.
Yes.
Yeah, brilliant picture.
Without fail.
Here's another one as well.
Oh yeah. I wish I would have gone with Greg Rosen. I think it's Greg Rosenberg, and he said, "So you're saying the speedsters have a case of the runs?" I was like, "Oh man, that's brilliant. I wish I'd used that."
Brilliant! I absolutely love that shot. Love all the different colours and stuff on there as well.
And the
great
teeth.
figures. Soap Studio Flash looks fantastic. I really like that figure a lot. DC Collectibles one looks shocking, but that one looks so cool.
It is really cool, and they did a good job on the material. He actually can move without splitting his paint.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? Because half these soft goods figures, you feel like you're gonna rip them to shreds sometime.
Yeah, even Reverse Flash, he's a tough one because he's almost all leather. Yeah. So I feel like you're gonna bust.
Standing up off their own weight on those.
Yeah, that's with awesome. a little help of some putty, but no help of a stand.
That's brilliant.
It was tough. It took a while.
Yeah, they look epic, those two.
That's why only Reverse Flash ended up with the lightning that is actually came with him as an accessory, because was like, nah, I cannot find the right balance with all the other stuff on the regular.
I that sounds like a nightmare.
Driving myself mad.
It was St. Patrick's Day this week as well.
Yes. Did you celebrate?
No, I didn't. No. I was very busy at work, unfortunately. But yes, this is a great shot, and happy St. Patrick's Day belatedly to anybody out there. And yeah, brilliant picture, this one. All the multiversal versions of GL.
Yes, with the rarity, the rarest one of all in the middle.
Probably the 4 best Lantern figures that they've ever made, I reckon.
And all 4 of them were in the DCAU at one point.
They were, yeah, absolutely were. Phenomenal figures, all of these. And yeah, I think Jessica, apart from the obvious Green Lantern animated series, I think Jessica Cruz is my favourite out of those, because she just looks so cool, and the detail they've got on is brilliant.
Yeah, and she actually came with decent accessories as well, so
yeah,
at least they didn't give up fully yet.
They look brilliant, those 4 do. Really tempted to get some more GL figures. Probably do need to.
I need to get some alien versions. That's what I want now.
Yeah,
weird-headed ones.
I got, you know, the Mattel Ultra figures that come with a couple of different heads. Like they come with the Tomar Ray head. I'm gonna get another Green Lantern and use that head on him when they get released in the UK. The other Green Lanterns. Just to see what it looks like. I need a new GL anyway. Mine's completely ruined now.
That version?
Yeah, another one of him. I need to buy a duplicate.
No, thankfully
fantastic.
That one's held up. I've had 2 other figures break on me that were from the DC Universe app line.
Oh, really? Which 2 are? I'm gonna guess Wonder Woman, and I'm gonna go with Superman.
Nope, it's Batman.
Really? No, not Batman.
His right hip broke, and then the other one was Aquaman. His hook fell off.
Oh, I'm joking. What a joke. The quality control is so bad.
Yeah. This one I thought was funny. Of course. Or else I would have posted.
I did enjoy this one, to be honest. And it's a nice opportunity to see all the multiverse of Batman characters as well. You've literally got everybody in here, even like Huntress and Batwing are in there.
I was determined, because usually I always forget one person. It's always usually is Huntress. So I was like, okay, I gotta get everyone here, because it literally would take that just to keep Batman in.
For me, that Nightwing steals the show on this picture. I love that Nightwing.
Good. I thought that he looked the best. He has the coolest, most natural pose too, just slightly cocked.
So cool. And that Batman Nightfall figure is good as well. I do like it. It's a nice figure.
Yeah, I had to go with that one over the McFarlane. It just looked better.
Yeah, no, he is a terrific figure, that one. And yeah, some absolutely brilliant characters in there. And yeah,
and look, the Batwoman doesn't look too tall next to the McFarlanes. She looks normal size.
Yeah, which is good. Yeah, because Batwoman isn't that tall, really, is she?
No,
well, not supposed to be anyway. Even though she accidentally is. But,
and then looking at Tim Drake's figure, it kind of makes me feel like that's kind of what we saw in the new Batman photos. That collar looks kind of reminiscent.
Yeah. Yeah, he's
hopefully.
Fantastic. Great shots that once, and we've got this one here as well. I want to talk about that one. Enjoyed that one a lot.
You noticed the gas mask?
Yes, indeed.
Alfred had to go shopping. Better mask up. He had to scare people out of the toilet paper aisle.
And he's got the cape on him as well. Actually, I really enjoy.
Yeah, and that's a courtesy of my old Toy Biz Batman that we saw earlier with the coup. And you know what else is funny? I was looking at the figure and was like, you know why I feel like a lot of us don't have any problem with a Batman with a collar is when you see that little clip thing and you put it on that little figure, it kind of looks like he has a collar anyway.
Yeah, like, true.
Kind of just used to it.
Yeah. It looks perfect, that one. I'd love to see an unmasked one with the collar on.
Oh, and that's another thing. While we're on this picture, I noticed that the Bruce Wayne head, even though overall the figure looks odd seeing him stand up because of the ab crunch, the head actually does fit a little better on this one than it does on the regular one. Because if I post a picture with the regular sculpt with that head, everyone will just be putting long. I get trolled for that every time. I think it's hilarious. It's just people hate seeing that head on that neck.
It's so true. It's so true. Yeah, the neck on that thing is horrendous.
That's the reason I went with that.
But, so there's two more pictures that I wanted to touch on before we go, and this one is brilliant. Rewatched this episode 2 days ago with Dr.
Yeah, you're what inspired me to watch it too.
Yeah, I mean, it's just an amazing episode. That one of the best, and some of the best Batman moments ever in that, and just so many cool little things we get to see in that two-part. You see Superman in the Batmobile, which is cool, and we see Batman and Jean working together, which we don't see too often in the series, and it's just so many different cool ways of looking at this. It's Batman on this occasion that saves the entire Justice League by defeating Dr. Destiny, along with Jean, of course. Jean goes into the Leaguer's minds and brings them out of it. It's just a great episode. It really is. There's so many cool elements to it, and Easter eggs and brilliant moments. And I really like the powers that Dr. Destiny has. He's a cool villain.
Yeah. And the fact that they're able to come up with a cool character like this, even like what you said multiple times, they couldn't use Batman villains because of the embargo, and so to give Batman a bat-centric episode that was in line with his abilities, to like his superpower, was pretty cool. It was awesome to see his mind, his sharpness.
Absolutely. And the bat embargo is one of the stupidest things ever, especially since we lost so many great potential episodes to such a stupid and rubbish series.
Yeah,
it's a shame.
We only got to see Mark Hamill against Justice Leaguers twice.
Oh, it's so stupid, isn't it? It's, here's the final one I wanted to talk about, and I can already tell without you telling me that the atmosphere aerosol spray here looks perfect.
No, it's none on this.
Really? That surprised me a lot. It looks so cool.
And I posted a picture similar to this, and there's a few times I posted like a Joker picture on the car where it's a little different from the one previous, with just in the way his hands are being held out and stuff.
Yeah.
But this one, at first I didn't enjoy it as much, but I held on to it because of the glare and the way it looked. It was like hitting something metal in the background. That's why it gives it that atmosphere look. So it's like, okay, I gotta use it. It looks good,
fantastic. Yeah, I really like it, and the figure is fantastic. And Soap Studio really tempted to get, and I don't know who to choose between, like the Two-Face, or to hang on for the Catwoman or Batman. But I mean, I don't know who to choose to get. I'm going to get one of them. I'll be definitely getting that's one of the figures that we're going to be talking about later for we go over there. Yes.
There's a Two-Face.
Do you know what? It actually was Two-Face.
Yeah.
It genuinely is Two-Face that's just fallen over.
Yeah.
Stupid there he is. Stupid Two-Face figure with his absolute pin feet. But yes, so definitely going to get the Selena Kyle because she's outstanding and looks perfect. But I don't know if to get Batman or Two-Face or even the Ra's al Ghul and Batman 2-pack, or Ra's al Ghul 2-pack, I should say. It's so difficult to choose because there's so many great characters. I really want to collect more Dark Knight figures, like purposely buying this guy, Scarecrow.
Oh, that's a sneak peek.
Purposely buying him just to collect some more Dark Knight stuff and do more Dark Knight pictures because I don't really take enough of them. But yeah,
may we never forget what a great movie series that was.
Yeah, definitely. Who do you reckon should get?
I would either pick currently, because I don't know how long before we actually will see the release of the other new ones now. this Joker's the most solid, but the Two-Face is also really good.
Yeah.
Plus, it comes with a lot of coins and accessories.
Yeah,
I had a feeling that you were itching for a Two-Face after one of your story posts where you posted.
Yeah, yeah. It's I would like to get Two-Face because I've got a Joker now and got Scarecrow, and
you got like every perfect Joker.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Would definitely like to get that Ra's al Ghul and Bruce Wayne 2-pack though, because they're just such great figures. They look so cool.
Especially the Ra's al Ghul. He's, or however you say it.
Yeah, we'll definitely be getting some of those figures at some point in the near future.
Okay, so you already kind of hinted at it. Yes. But this is an idea that was brought about from the questions that we had, and we mentioned it on air, and we're going to follow through with it. And it was to review the first wave, or at least the first 4 figures released, if that's what we're going to call the wave, of the DC Collectibles. That's what they were called at the time. Now DC Direction list, and we're going to just look. I think it's cool that we're going to have a retrospect and look back at just some of the earlier figures, and also just looking at how different they were from figure to figure. Is bizarre.
Yeah, it is true.
Which is also very reflective of the atmosphere there, I'm sure, by their leader, Jim, Mr. Fletcher.
So, was watching DC Daily. You'll have seen it, I know, but for people that haven't, he was on the show with Jim Fletcher was with Paul Dini talking about the new comic and the action figures. And I listen to Paul Dini. I can just listen to the guy talk all day about the animated series and stuff. It's brilliant. And Jim Fletcher comes in and just like, mate, you are chatting so much crap. It's incredible. He was saying about, we've done sculpts for the Superman animated series and stuff. It's like, no, you haven't. And if you have, you're not going to release them anyway. So stop teasing these things. I mean, this is a guy that like a year ago was saying, we've got a Bruce Wayne sculpt. He's sat right next to me on here, but they were on a podcast, so he couldn't show people. I'm just like, you talk a good game and you under-deliver every single time you release a figure. So, yeah, Jim Fletcher out is a hashtag we need to start.
Jim Fletcher out.
Yeah, Fletcher out is a hashtag we need to start sending around Instagram. The guy's a raving lunatic.
I might start. That would be funny.
It's hopefully just so annoying. Like, he's saying that we would love to release all these figures like Clock King and all that, but we just don't see a market for it. It's literally what he said on the show, and I'm just like, you don't have a clue.
So we're gonna redo Robin with a little bit of pain.
Yeah, because there's a market for that, of course. Yeah,
everyone wants to rebuy him.
However, Paul Dini was great, and he was talking about some of the characters they weren't able to use, like Deathstroke, just literally because of the name they couldn't use in the series, and he's going to be in the second comic book. He's going to be in the second comic book they do, which I'm looking forward to seeing. And he's talks about sort of Red Hood and characters like that. It's going to be interesting to see how they write them, and if anyone can write them into the animated series, I think Paul Dini's the man for the job. Yes. So it's brilliant.
He created that beautiful Arkham City story. He could do this.
Yeah, definitely. You get write some epic Batman stuff, and should probably be involved in writing more Paul Dini because he is brilliant at it. And it gives these new characters a little bit more weight as well. And although it's going to be difficult for them to,
it makes it feel like less of a cash grab.
It does, yeah. No, it actually does. Like, although some of the characters are a bit strange, but I like how Paul Dini said, in terms of the collectible side, he was told to draw a figure and then they'll articulate it, and not the other way around, like saying, we need to draw a figure, but it needs to have double jointed knees and stuff like that, which is quite good because that sort of ties in with the series, where you make the series, then you do the collectibles, not the other way around, which is good. So I kind of appreciate that a little bit more. And also the fact that it's coming from the horse's mouth, that these are designs that are from the animated series, like the Bruce Timm style with Ty Templeton, and Paul Dini was in on it as well, which is kind of good. You've got that seal of approval from people that created the show, which is great.
You need that.
You do. You need it. Otherwise, there's no point in doing it, really. And like you say, it is a cash grab if not.
Yeah, it would feel like they're just taking other people's work and profiting off it if he wasn't involved.
Sure, yeah.
Which we know a lot of people enjoy doing.
They do, yeah, they do.
But in terms of, I think that this fits in perfect. We're going to be doing reviews too because we don't really have any media to cover since everything's postponed. So
there isn't. Yeah, everything's stopped, hasn't it? Like even the CW stuff has stopped. Batman stopped for 2 weeks, so it's resuming next week. I think end of next week it's going to be resuming in Liverpool. I've seen filming's going to be there, which is quite cool.
That
might have to pay a visit there actually.
That would be really.
In fact, actually, I might do that. It's only an hour away. Liverpool is. I might go and see if I get some Batman set.
It's once in a lifetime.
Yeah.
Well, where do you want to start? You want to start with the first figure release of Batman?
Let's go for it. Yeah, with Batman. We couldn't believe when we were looking at it. As it's perfect because I got that cape on him, that's perfect.
Yes. So we don't have to show the other cape.
No, we don't have to show the other capes.
If you're looking, Scott has the one that drapes over, or if you're listening, Scott has the one that drapes over, and I have the alternate version where he has a little bit more movement freedom. Still kind of draped.
Can't really choose between these two capes. They both look so amazing.
That's true. And the figure's simple. It's weird that they went TNBA style first out the box, but
that is a good point. Yeah, it has actually got a duplicate one of him in box to show people as well.
Wow, that's a rarity.
I mean, the box just looks so cool. If you're a collector or a child seeing that on the shelf, you're going to want that instantly. It looks so cool.
Yeah, you can see he comes with, do you only come with the Batarang and the new style grapple gun?
It does, yeah.
Along with hands? Okay.
Yes, it does. I don't know if you can see that in there. All we can see is a reflection of the screen, but yes.
And you told me that it was released in 2014.
I couldn't believe it when I saw it. So it was originally 2014 with those horrible hip joints that he had, and then was re-released in 2016, which is the ones that we're showing. But
oh yeah, that's true. I forgot that the original.
But never mind. Yeah, a terrific figure. Like really, seriously, one of the best figures that they've done. You can tell they really care. It's like with the different capes, the amount of hands he comes with as well, which I'm not going to show because I can't be bothered to get all the hands out. He's got like open hands, grabbing hands, punching hands, and batarang hands. Yeah, which is great. And obviously, like we said, the batarang and the grapple gun comes with him. And he's also got a hand with a grapple gun already in it, which is great.
Perfect.
And looks perfect. But yeah, he's just such an imposing figure and looks so cool, and love the new adventures designs on Batman. Absolutely terrific figure. So yeah, a massive thumbs up on this one.
And let us make a note that this figure has ankles that pivot.
Yeah, it does.
That's a good, as well as boot cut to go with it. So it provides a decent amount of articulation for an animated looking figure.
I don't know about you, but when you look at the first release of the animated series Batman and this one is so much better. Like with the boot articulation and stuff.
That was not in the first release.
Yeah, and I love the belt as well on this one, the color of the belt, and obviously they're going to be re-releasing it soon. This figure now has got 2 re-releases, which probably says more about DC Collectibles than the market they've got. But the third re-release I can't wait for, even though it's just a few minor differences. It looks so good still, this figure does, and it's one of those where I'll still buy it no matter how often they re-release it and improve it. It's just so cool. Love that figure so much, and the Batsuit's just amazing.
Yeah, mine's got little paint chips around the Bat emblem at the bottom, so I'm gonna need a new one.
Yeah, new one's necessary. I've got a few chips on his head as well. Now I'm looking at it, but yeah.
Yeah, I made sure. What was the second? The second figure was naturally Two-Face.
It was. I think that's quite apt, isn't it, that they put Two-Face?
Yeah, at least they thought. At least they put that much thought into it.
I know personally, I've been through Two-Faces, which again is quite apt. You can see the horrible joints there on the hips. They didn't re-release this figure, so this is the only one we've ever had, and he's extremely rare these days. But I have to say, it's one of the most accurate portrayals of a character I think that they've done.
Mine, I put a little peg leg on it. Yeah, because his ankle fell.
No way.
But yeah, I hate the ugly hips, but evident that they were there.
Yeah.
However,
the arms as well. The arms are annoying. That's the furthest they'll bend, which is it's not even 9 degrees. Which
he bends it back longer.
Do you know it probably does.
That's so weird.
Some arm breaking poses.
That is a must. And then, yeah, it is weird that his coin accessory is kind of lazy because even the paint is leaking onto the hand.
Actually, that is a good point. Yeah, same here. If that's
like leaks onto the hand.
Probably doesn't really come across, but yeah, that is actually true.
So what? Well, you go for it. I think you're going. Right. What I was going to say.
Yeah, we're accessories. I think we were going to talk about that. Great accessories.
I got them all here. The case.
Yeah.
You got the red gas or chemical. You got the blue let's switch them. Dyslexic. And then this is my favorite, which I'm going to be using a lot of now.
That's great. The gas mask, isn't it? And
so cool.
I know this I've used in a few different pictures as well. The little clock.
Oh yeah, I totally forgot about that.
The little clock, and last but not least, the gun he comes with as well, which is in his hand ready.
Oh yeah, I have that with some other. Oh, it's on there. Wrong gun. Sorry for everyone listening there.
Woke
you up.
Indeed. No, some great accessories that Two-Face has with him, and he looks incredibly accurate to the show. Although the jacket discolors quite easily, I've noticed it goes slightly yellow, which is a shame.
I was going to ask you about that. If you're just going cream color.
I mean, how perfect is that figure? He looks brilliant.
How much is he running nowadays?
Good question. Actually, the New Adventures Batman is like, I think about 40 quid in the UK. Around that.
40 quid. Ooh.
Yeah.
Which, funnily enough, they're just going to be $10 less now because they keep raising the price.
Yeah, true. So here we go. Let's have a look here. So you can get him without accessories for as cheap as like £13, but if you're looking for one that's in box or with accessories, it's just impossible to find. So yeah, it's gone quite expensive. I think I paid about £30 for this one, which was new in box when I brought it, maybe about a year or so ago. Because the original one I did get for like £7. It was really cheap. In fact, my mum found that. My mum found me that when she was out, and messages was like, "Have you got this one?" I was like, "No." She's like, "Sound, I'll buy it you." It's like,
yes.
Cool. So that was pretty nice, and very grateful for that. But here we go, £50 for one in box there. Madness.
And most people will want it for those accessories. That's
yeah, that's true. I've actually, the box figure that I got behind me, I'm actually selling on eBay, so that's a shameless plug. You can go out and find that. But yeah, that New Avengers Batman is around about 40 or 50 quid at the minute. But yeah, a pretty cool figure, those two.
What accessory have you used most from the Two-Face one?
I would definitely say the canisters and the bag that they come in. I used them this week actually on that Batman versus Ninja Turtles picture.
The coronavirus
picture, yeah. Probably use them the most. And I kind of use the clock sometimes. I know I've used it for a couple of Clock King pictures, or used it for the Bullet badge and the POV picture. Symbol.
I feel like the one I don't use enough is that one. I almost forget that he even came with it.
I mean, the amount of accessories you get in this figure is crazy.
And then, but the one downside, well, there's actually a few downsides, is the second figure released after releasing the Batman, and already the hands don't hinge; they only rotate, as well as his pin feet, they only rotate, and they have no hinge. So it's already just a difference, and there is a trade-off because you get more accessories. So, and he's not really an action-style figure, so you could forgive him for that.
Yeah, that's true. And this angle that his feet bend to is pretty pathetic.
But we do have to point out the inconsistencies in the line.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, this is the 2014 figure, isn't it? Really, so this is probably the earliest figure that we both own, along with the next figure in the wave,
the third,
was Mr. Freeze.
Yes.
Now, this is for me personally, one of the best that they did. It's outstanding figure, this one. So many cool accessories that you get with him. So you've got the freeze gun in his hand here, which you can see, which is fantastic. I love the accuracy of the head sculpt as well. It's fully movable, and you can look up quite a way. Can't really look down very much, but
Oh yeah,
which is pretty good. Arms don't particularly bend that much, but you don't really need articulation with a Mr. Freeze figure. I think articulation's pretty low down the the order of what you need for a Mr. Freeze figure. He's very, pardon the pun, but he's very cold and not very moving.
He's frigid.
Yeah, frigid. I like that. That's a great, great one. But yeah, he's a brilliant figure, and I actually brought 2 of the Mr. Freezes back in the day, so I could get the Spider Freeze.
Yes, those are the really cool accessories.
That is an amazing idea. Considering this is a brand new figure in a line, what an absolutely brilliant idea to put those in. They're a nightmare to actually plug into the bottom.
Oh, the biggest nightmare.
Yeah, so I had to use a hairdryer and buy a separate figure of Mr. Freeze because I couldn't be able to take these out after getting them in. Whoa, he's now fell. It took that long to do so. But yeah, Mr. Freeze is an outstanding figure. He really is.
Yes,
and perfect portrayal. For
being such an early figure, and you could tell he's early because again he has the little hip joint showing.
Yeah,
he's a solid one. He doesn't feel like he's gonna break. He actually feels durable. Yeah. And also, like you could look at the old Kenner version of this version of Freeze they released back in the day, and so they do a little homage to it with the spider legs, even, which that really hit me in the nostalgic. It's like, okay, I love this line. Yeah. Also, we also see for the first time the ability that they have of a diaphragm joint up here, and you also move.
Yeah. So that's what I like about them back then. They sort of didn't ruin the sculpt with articulation, which is what I think that they should have carried on with in the DC animated line. They should have always kept to sculpt comes first and then articulation second.
Even his feet,
perfect. Yeah,
his feet have hinge,
and moreover that is the pegs on the bottom of his feet as well, which we as photographers really underrated the pegs in the bottom of the feet. Personally, I use them quite a lot. So
nice. Yeah, I would not have even known that. For these figures, you probably really need them. Like, it would have been really helpful if the Two-Face had some peg holes.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, and the pegs have got enough depth on them to actually use the old DC Direct stands, which is good. So a nice bit of continuity from DC Collectibles there.
Which is rare. So any continuity from them is good. They can't even have a continuity in their name or company.
No, that's true. It's a great figure, that one.
Our 4th figure from the wave.
Indeed. Again, another re-release, but an outstanding figure. One of the best. We'll say about every figure. But yeah. She's a great figure, Catwoman.
Thank goodness they re-released her.
Incredibly accurate, and she did need a re-release just to have a bit more of a refreshed version, and also we're going to get the Selena Kyle head sculpt, which is amazing that we're going to get that now. But in terms of this re-release, it definitely needed to happen, didn't it?
About time that we're going to get another one with the Selena head, but this one was way needed because that Catwoman was about as brittle as the Two-Face when you got her back in the day.
Yeah, she was
horrendous. I remember putting her in boiling water and she still fell apart, like just a crumbled, like a dry cracker.
Yeah.
Or crisp.
Yeah. Great accessory of cat Isis comes with it.
Does the new one come with it?
Do you know what? It's a good point. I wonder if they are going to release Isis with the new version, but the remakes version does come with Isis.
That would be a shame because they didn't show it.
No, they didn't show it, which is kind of worrying. If they don't show it often, they won't give it you. But she also comes with, as Tyler was showing off there, the whip, which is an incredibly cool accessory.
Yes.
And she also has the theft vision goggles.
Oh, yeah.
Where are they? And then the diamond necklace as well. I love how they have these accessories from specific episodes as well. So you've got the Cold Comfort Mr. Freeze. You've got the Sins of the Father, Two-Face. What is it?
Which was the first episode I saw.
It's like a plague, isn't it, that he unleashes?
Yeah. He needs 22 million.
Which is fantastic. And this what is this from Catwalk? Is it? this episode, these ones.
Yes.
It's on Catwalk, isn't it? It's yeah. I mean, that's what I love about them. How they not only give you accessories, but they're from specific episodes.
It might be from Red Claw, actually. That one.
That's a good shout. Yeah.
I think it's Red Claw.
I think it is Red Claw. Yeah, you're right.
Which I wish they made that figure. That's another original character they created.
Yeah. Yeah, that would have been amazing to get a Red Claw figure, but I do love that they made these figures from specific episodes, and they did come with these white stands, which
they're ugly as death.
You get as the back of the figure there. You can just see it, and their title's got one. They're just the absolutely most horrific thing ever, and nobody misses them from the latest wave.
I have to cut them because they're too long, and you couldn't even put them near each other.
It's so strange how they did that. I never could understand why they did that. It's just
they were social distancing themselves from each other.
I mean, they did luckily correct it as the waves went on, but initially, like, why would you do that? It's so weird. But yeah, nobody misses the stands anymore.
They should have done what McFarlane's doing the whole time. I like that.
Yeah. I mean, they used to do it with the DC Direct figures, didn't they? They look great with like just an animated series logo, like the title cards logo on it. How cool would that look as a stand?
Or just a portrait of them being drawn.
It's like they did this one here. This is just one I happen to have right by me, but they did this for a Harley Quinn figure.
That's perfect.
Series one. If they did that with like a Batman animated series logo on there, how cool would that look? I'd love that.
It's like a mini Mezco.
Yeah, exactly. Like Mezco would do.
All right, so I have to ask.
Yeah.
After looking at this wave and being the first wave back then, and at the time, what we didn't know was going to be a humongous line and a popular line that people are still trying to get today. What do you think, or how would you rate this first wave overall?
Do you know what? I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. It's difficult to criticize them because at the time when it's difficult for their first wave and things like that, but they just look so damn cool. Like, all of them just look so accurate, and whether that fades or not with time, we'll find out in due course. But for the first wave, it's just amazing. Batman being the 11 out of 10. Whoa, Batman being the 11 out of 10 highlight. I mean, he's outstanding. He really is.
And the fact that he actually held up for a while. If you had the original.
Exactly. Just utterly outstanding figure. How about you? What are you going to rate this line?
I rate it pretty highly too, because I understand the brittleness and the plastic, and that comes, errors will come as you do anything, and you have to just get better from it, which they did. They got better from it. Those showing peg joints disappeared. Plastic got better. The one thing that you look back at this wave, and it was like the heyday, the glory days of the first few waves, or even at least the first half of the releases, because they had, like what you said, so well done in the accessories, and they're so episode specific, and it's just really it's just the thing that I think is smart. And even though I hated that at the time, I hated that it was just there's 3 new Batman Adventure figures and only 1 BTAS figure, and that's understandable because of course they want to keep the interest going and everything like that. So I do think it was smart overall. You got to have a Batman in there, solid Batman, a lot of accessories. Good to have a female character in there, Catwoman, classic. And Mr. Freeze, everyone knows him from BTAS. They may not know that version or that design, but they know him. And of course, you got to know Two-Face. So it's a strong 4 to start off with.
It is, isn't it? Yeah. And they were quite clever to separate Batman and Joker as well back in that day. And it'd be easy for them to just go, oh, here's Batman, Joker, Harley, and Robin, as they had done with this wave. And they've not learned from their own success, which is a shame. But they nailed this first wave. They really did.
And also,
brilliant.
Looking back, I mean, now waves we only maybe get 2, maybe 3, and this time we were consistently getting 4 every couple of weeks. So that was nice.
It's crazy, isn't it? When I was looking back over it, you get these 4 in 2014. Then you're looking at 2015 and 16. Just solid releases all the way through. Just smashing out the figures, which is great.
Riddler, Commissioner Gordon, Ra's al Ghul.
Yeah.
I love knowing that every few weeks I was going to have a new wave of 4 figures.
It's amazing. It's basically what you built your entire account. It's like why you're sitting here now, isn't it, with these figures? It's mad.
Yeah, and it's also funny, like you're saying, the episode-specific accessories. It's like that's basically what led into me wanting to do the shots and do all.
Yeah, and they're just incredibly nostalgic. Like Catwoman, I think was like the second or third ever figure that I got. I think Robin was my first, and then Catwoman was like maybe second or third. Yeah, just so nostalgic. I can remember going out and buying it. It's just really cool.
I'm already now looking forward to just doing this next second wave.
Yeah. Second wave is a brilliant wave as well.
It'll also be a really good excuse for me to get all these accessories finally organized.
That's the annoying part, isn't it? Sometimes with these figures, the accessories, they just get everywhere.
Yeah, and then there's be sometimes like I just will find a random accessory on the floor, like, oh, I was looking for that. Thank goodness I found it.
That is true. Yeah, that is very true.
I wonder how many people would be like, oh, like, you're not organized. Like, no. But in terms of that, I think overall I'd give it an 8 out of 10. I would say the only problem I mostly have is the difference in like how come Two-Face doesn't have better articulation, but you could also, his ankles are so small, wouldn't really matter.
Yeah, true.
So overall, yeah, 8 out of 10. Plus, it got me into this line.
Yeah, that's it, and it's a great introduction to the line. They look very accurate, and just really eye-catching and appealing, especially with the way the boxes are designed as well.
It's probably the prime of Jim Fletcher's career. He's busting those out.
It is, yeah. Yeah, it's true.
And then now we are going to transition into covering an episode. And
yes.
Episode that has not even a Batman villain, a Green Lantern or Green Arrow villain, but the Green Arrow borrows so much from Batman that I think it's okay.
Yeah, like they borrowed Deathstroke from Batman in return, so it's okay.
Exactly. Yeah, they almost tried to take Suicide Squad.
Oh,
so, no. What do you think when you think of the episode Off Balance featuring Count Vertigo?
I think how pathetic Vertigo is as a villain and how stupid his weapon is. Any villain that Batman has to describe any weapon as topsy-turvy is not the best, but it leads on to a good few episodes and also kicks off the story.
That's true.
Some other episodes very, very well, so you can kind of forgive that a little bit.
That's basically what I feel this whole episode exists for, is the kickstart. The Al Ghul family.
I feel like they couldn't make the villain too good because Ra's al Ghul and Talia al Ghul have to upstage him, so they couldn't make him too good. So Vertigo was probably just a nice stopgap, and
what does that say about Green Arrow's villain?
I love how they went for the casual racism of a German villain as well. Which is really really enjoyable.
It's just that 90s casual stuff.
Yeah, like we need a German. We need a villain who's pathetic and is going to be easily defeated. We'll make him German.
Give him an eye patch.
Yeah, give him an eye patch and blonde hair with blue eyes, which is not great.
No, that's not stereotypical.
Not at all. No, not at all. No one's ever tried to do that.
Well, we start off by looking at what looks like an off-brand version of the Statue of Liberty, and they're calling it the Statue of Justice. And we see a character who he's called Twitch, so you can assume he's probably a druggie. And Batman's trying to ask him about a new thing that he discovered called the Society of Shadows. And we know, if you're a Batman fan, you know exactly what that has to do with.
Yes.
And he's seen that they're operating in Gotham, and while he's trying to get stuff out of this guy and find out what he knows, we see some, they look like ninjas, but they're in all black get-ups, and they're assassins, and they come up and they try to get rid of this guy, but Batman takes care of him. And then before he could get any answers from the other guy, one of the assassins that's still up there, the guy just literally kills himself. And this is the beginning of an episode of Batman. The guy just takes it's like a cyanide pill, but they show gas because they can't show the guy frothing at the mouth.
Yeah, that would be too extreme.
That'd be a little traumatic.
Cartoon.
That'd be one step too many.
I love the first quote we start off with. That is his name's Twitch, so he's probably a druggie, which is so true.
They were very subtle back then.
Yeah. But yeah, it's quite cool. We get to find out a couple of things like the Society of Shadows. There's so many different names for them. You've got League of Assassins, League of Shadows in Batman Begins,
Yeah,
and Society of Shadows here. Like, there's so many different names for them, but
as many as Raisha's name is pronounced.
Yeah, exactly. Raish, Raz. There's so many different names of. Yeah, so many different names for racial Ra's al Ghul. But yeah, it's a pretty cool start to the episode and quite mysterious.
And we see from afar a mysterious shadow.
Yes, in Talia al Ghul. We don't know it at the time, but looking back now, we all know it.
Yes.
And so Batman, after experiencing this strange encounter with some assassins, he goes over to see Gordon at the firing range. I love how Gordon's been shooting at these things, and Batman just appears in front of them. It's like, get out of the way. You don't know what's going to happen if he fires up again.
Ricochets.
But yeah, so Batman goes to Gordon and says, from something that they've said, he thinks they're going to go after Wayne Tech's new drill, which is meant to be used for excavations and sort of building sites, and and he said to Gordon to boost the.
Does this
security.
remind you of anything? The drill, like the Wayne Tech.
I suppose it is kind of like the Batman Begins fusion device.
More nicking.
Yeah, it's a little bit of theft from that, and then combined with the Scarecrow episode, isn't it? And mixing them together. Yeah, it is.
Kind of got that vibe.
It's true. Yeah, actually, it's a good point. And so Batman's saying to Gordon to boost the security on Bullock. That he's the drop that's happening later, and he's like, "We started that a few hours ago. How do you know about that?" Which is quite cool. It's a nice little subtle way.
I'm Batman.
Yeah.
And then we're at the train station. We see Bullock, and he's there with the officers, and they're trying to protect this Wayne drill. We see Lucius Fox, who we rarely get to see in the animated series, but it's always nice when we get to see him. And he's just making sure everything goes well when they transfer this item. And as soon as the package is unloaded, all of the men are hit by a vertigo where you can see them losing their balance. And we see our dastardly villain, this maniac with the eye patch. He's present, and he's the one that's causing all their balance issues. And I think it's funny that he even has to announce himself as Vertigo, like he's proud of it. My name's Vertigo. But Batman gets there in time to stop him, and you can see that he's also affected by the little eye patch. And they fight for a little bit, but Batman, of course, is distracted. And they're both distracted by this mysterious shadow figure again, who we know is Talia. But eventually Vertigo does get the drill.
Yeah,
and he's off.
Yeah, he's off and into the distance with this drill. I mean, Vertigo always makes me laugh. There's people in the UK will probably know better than anywhere else in the world, but from Blackadder. I don't know. Have you ever seen Blackadder, Tyler? You probably
have not.
So there's a comedy called Blackadder, and Adrian Edmondson plays a villain called Baron von Richthofen in that series, and he just reminds me of Vertigo because he's just a blithering idiot. But yes, so as Vertigo escapes on the stereotypical biplane, which I quite enjoy. What I also enjoy about this biplane is it can somehow hover. It's the very first plane I've seen that can stay in a hovering
German
position.
Technology.
It must be, yeah. It must be, yeah. They learned from their Messerschmitts. But yeah, no. So I think that's quite fascinating that they are able to somehow make a plane balance in midair, which is
that is funny. I never would have noticed as a child.
I also like or find fascinating how Lucius doesn't know who Batman is in the animated series. Whereas obviously in the Dark Knight, he's sort of like he's almost as crucial as he probably is as crucial as Alfred is to Bruce in that series, in him becoming Batman. But in this series, we don't see that. He doesn't know. He's very much sort of the Wayne Tech side of things.
And even in the comics, I think he's aware of Bruce's identity. Yeah,
because of course his son goes on to become Batwing, doesn't he? In that series, so it's quite in the comic book series. So, and even in like Arkham Knight, he knows about Bruce being Batman, and he's sort of like the Dark Knight version where he knows who he is and he provides all the sort of tech for him and helps him with stuff. So it's quite interesting.
Some of my favorite stuff of the game.
Yeah, yeah, true. And speaking of Alfred, he heads back to the Batcave where he's talking to Alfred, and he's saying that he thinks that woman in the distance who was there was working with him because she was the only one not affected by the radiation that the eye patch gives out. And Batman was trying to work out where they're hiding, and they went off in an easterly direction, and then Alfred's like, "Oh, you need to be careful because you won't know your right from your left." He's like, "Alfred, you're brilliant," and he's worked out that they've gone west, not east. And Batman finds out where they're hiding it. And I love how it's this sort of stereotypical old-looking castle is where they're hiding out. A really haunted place. He's looking at all these nice buildings and flicks through the Batcave screen. They get to this horrible, evil-looking building in the distance on these rocks, and that's the hideout straight away. We know. We don't need any more. We don't need any evidence. We're just looking at the structure of this building. We know this is where the villains are hiding out straight away.
It must be.
Yeah.
And then, of course, he sees Talia walking up, and she gets attacked, and he joins the fight, and he does not go very well for them. They're drastically outnumbered, and Batman even ends up losing his utility belt, I believe.
He does, yeah. It gets cut off by a sword, doesn't it, as he's defending himself.
And they use the drill, I believe, to just make them fall below their own feet. And that's where we get a little break, and we're supposed to tell by the visuals that time has passed. And then what happens?
Yeah, so they wake up in the cell. Talia's bathing Bruce's wound near his eye. And Bruce wakes up, and his mask's off. He's like, "Oh my god, my mask!" And and she's like, "Oh, be quiet. We don't know who's listening to us."
As a kid, this pissed me off.
Yeah,
I was like, "What?"
Yeah, it is weird, isn't it? It is really strange, and because personally, I didn't read the comic books or anything, so you don't know anything about the sort of relationship between Bruce and Talia that sort of goes on. After a certain amount of time, which later comes to fruition more in sort of the 2000 years when we see Damien get born. But so it's quite interesting to see that. And Bruce goes, "Oh, what we need right now is a lockpick," and he goes to look for his belt. He's like, "Oh, his belt's gone." And Talia then uses it's like a hair clip, isn't it? She uses to pick the lock and get out.
Bobby pin.
Yeah, she uses that to get out. And she was saying that Vertigo used to work for her father, which we don't know at the time is Ra's al Ghul. But and then Ra's got rid of him because of his wacky ideas, and Talia came to stop him, to sort of work undercover a little bit and stop him. And
again, almost like a Bane situation from Dark Knight Rises.
True, yeah.
Bane separates because he's a little too wacky for Ra's al Ghul.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah.
So
so we're now looking at the door to the laboratory where they think Vertigo's hiding out is unlocked, and they go in, and Talia's like, "Oh, of course it's a trap," and Batman's like, "Naturally." He's not impressed at all, but very sarcastic response. And then we get the classic villain speech from Vertigo, which we're not going to go into. But then what we do find out is that he's got the lab rigged with radiation devices that his eye gives out to make everything distorted and topsy-turvy, as Batman says. And Talia's saying, "Oh no, she's lost the contact lenses that prevent the distortion," which gives Batman a great idea. And he says, "Right, take my hand. I trusted you earlier. You got to trust me now," which I quite like, and that's a good line. And Batman goes through and gets past all the traps, and she's like, "Well, how the hell did you do that?" Because there's all these spears coming at them. There's a button they press on the ground, and it opens up, and it's quite cool.
Very Indiana Jones-ish.
True, yeah, good. That's a good point. And Batman just says, "Oh, it's very simple. I just kept my eyes shut." It's like, what? It's like, what, really?
Oh, really? Because I'm Batman.
And yes, they're out and away of the stupid Vertigo laboratory.
And then that's when they escape, correct?
Yes.
And then they have to go towards the bell tower where Vertigo's at the top waiting for him again. Like a villain from a video game. You have to reach the top level.
Everybody loves a bell tower as well. Like Batman 89 loved one. The Purchase to Dream had one.
Yeah.
And then this one we get a bell tower as well. There's something about bell tower that's just so evil and yeah.
And it also goes well with the spinning nature of his thing, since there's like a winding staircase going up to try to reach him, and of course he's using the device to try to destroy the stairs and make it even harder. But Batman, he decides just to hang on to another belted rope and just causing noise to just distract Vertigo enough to where he'll want to close those eyes or just stop the device. And Batman eventually gets Mr. Vertigo, I think, in a river.
Yes, he falls off into a river. Falls out of the tower into a river.
He gives himself vertigo.
A very, very feeble ending to that villain. But that's where things twist a little bit. And Batman thinks that he's taking off with a drill and that's it. And he's walking away from Talia. At which point Talia suddenly turns on him and says, "I can't let you leave like this." And then a tone changes
not with
straight
the
away.
drill.
Like, not with the drill. Yeah. And it's at this point Batman has the drill behind his back and he sort of slides something down the front of the drill, doesn't he? That sort of like disrupts it. So when Talia escapes in the plane, she's like saying, "Oh, it could have been sweet," which is an interesting line that has a bit more gravity behind it in later episodes. So she then talks to her father, which is when we first get the appearance of Ra's al Ghul, which is, and he has a brilliant line, which is, so even in defeat, the Batman managed to gain a small victory, which is a really cool line. I love that line, because as Talia goes to shoot the ray, it disrupts and blows up, and Talia's horrified. She's like, "Oh no, he must have done something." And to it, and Ra's is like, "Well, as the detective says, this is not over." And I mean, that's a brilliant ending to the episode.
Not only is the voice casting really perfect for Ra's al Ghul, but also the way that he's not like hamming it up when he finds out Batman's like, "Oh, Batman!" He's just like calm and collected, but naturally he's a detective. Yeah, good for him. I love it. He's just big deal.
Because I mean, Ra's has so much respect for Batman, even though he hates him. He's got so much respect for Batman because he knows that he is just an unbelievable, detective, as he calls him, and he knows he's an unbelievable fighter. And as we get to see in future episodes,
which I'll be doing pretty soon here, Demon's Quest.
Yes, I can't wait to see them episodes.
What do you rank this one? There's a lot to like and a lot to hate.
There is, and it's difficult because I think the actual episode is pretty underwhelming, but then the where it leads to after that is great. So I'll probably give it I'm going to give it a 6. It'd probably be about a 4 had it not been for the Ra's al Ghul element, because it's just the villain's just so bad. But I think the story behind it and where it leads on to kind of saves it a little bit. So I'll give it a 6. Vertigo gets a 1, but Ra's al Ghul, his role at the end, Ra's al Ghul's role at the end is fantastic. I mean, that's a great way to bring him into the series. They wrote that in really nicely. So I'll go for a 6. What are you saying?
I mean, that's fair. I can't argue against that, because the villain's pathetic, but he kind of has to be, and this is a lot of setup, and Ra's al Ghul has some really good episodes down the line, epic 2-parter. So, I mean, even his next one where he just shows up and got Robin's dorm room is freaky.
That is true.
So, I do like that they always have him as something mysterious, and it just very fits into the whole nature of even Talia, not what she seems. Ra's al Ghul, not what he seems. Society of Shadows, not what they seem. So I think it's fair 6, because it also does feel like they're just very lazy writing with like the note in general.
Yeah.
Let's put him in a bell tower after he comes from a very stereotypical castle.
Oh, it's so true, isn't it? It is a yeah, it is such a stereotypical villain's hideout, and the fact that they're making Jim is, I find, just hilarious.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Well, they probably couldn't put that. I was going to say that they didn't have more like Hitler stuff or something like that to make it, but they're not going to put that on a cartoon.
Yeah.
But yeah, they very much leaned into hating, hating on that.
Yeah.
But it's a episode I don't think many people even think of often. But
yeah, that's it. Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't sort of think that this is the beginning episode of like the League of Assassins or Society of Shadows, as they're called in this. So you wouldn't necessarily think that, which is quite cool. It's a cool beginning to,
and it is
sort of
cool to see Talia.
Yeah, it is. But
other than that, you mentioned it a little bit, but did you get any new figures in person, in hand?
So I've got the Mayfex Scarecrow that we mentioned here.
Yes.
I mean, he's a terrific figure. He looks
old
perfect.
Baghead.
Yeah, it's true. And I think that's about it. To be honest, there's nothing else that's new at the moment.
Yeah, I wish I could say. I only gone hunting one day, but there's nothing really good.
No,
I did get this.
There isn't.
This is rare.
Wow, excellent.
2-ply.
Oh, wow, that's even bigger rarity.
It scales well. 6-inch scale.
6-inch scale, brilliant.
I am seeing some people post that they're out finding new stuff. I don't see any McFarlane stuff even on GameStop's website, so I don't think that we'll be getting anything too soon.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see a delay in some figures, to be honest, because of the virus, because they know people aren't going to go out and buy them. Like, we've seen a lot of movies and stuff like that delayed because they know people aren't going to go out and watch them, or they wouldn't want to encourage people to go out. So I wouldn't be surprised if we do see some delays. And DC Collectibles love an excuse for a delay, so I wouldn't be surprised if that happens.
They're probably partying.
Yeah. Jim Fletcher can enjoy all the figures he won't release.
Yeah. Oh, that's good that you have a Bruce Wayne on your desk, but we don't.
Yeah. Well, he mentioned that about the Superman animated series villains and other villains that they've casted. Like, you're either talking crap or you shouldn't be saying these things because you're not going to release them. So what's the point?
Yeah. I'll have what he's having.
Yeah. Yeah.
But overall, that's this week.
That's the week in summary. Yes. Next episode we're going to be covering is The Man Who Killed Batman.
Yeah, that's a good one.
A nice one to reintroduce Joker and Harley Quinn.
I haven't seen them in a while. Feels
it has been a while. It does feel like it's been a while since we've seen them. Yeah. Seen quite a lot of different villains and great individual, like, character-driven stories over the last sort of 10 episodes, I'd say. And it's nice to get back. Nice to get back to the classical Joker ones.
Especially this one.
Yes,
his monologue is epic.
Oh yeah, it is, absolutely. And Harley plays a great role in it too, and Bullock as well. Bullock's a good role in this. But yeah, so and speaking of Joker, our next theme is going to be Joker movie weekend with Lewis, who's at the back. So yes, you'll be seeing a lot of this guy next week. Yeah.
This weekend, right?
This weekend, I should say.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, tomorrow, as this podcast goes out, tomorrow, you'll be seeing Joker begin tomorrow night. Joker theme, and check out Lewis's podcast as well. Podcast on Infinite Earths.
And if you guys are bored and haven't heard any of our back catalog, make sure to listen to that. We have on a lot of fun guests, a lot of toy collectors, designers, customizers. So you can check that out if you are stranded at home. And if this is your first time watching and or listening, but if it is, thank you for listening. It's been a lot of fun. We usually have guests. We don't know how available we're going to have guests if they're going to be able to get any in the near future. But with social distancing, it shouldn't be too bad.
Yes. There is there is one final thing we have to do as well, which is our figure of the week.
Oh yes, figure of the week,
which we need to decide on. And yes, who are you thinking for this week?
This week, figure wise, I would have to say this guy.
Tim Drake.
Yeah, I like when I put together that one where they're all together, like in the Bat family in the Bat Cave. He just stands out to me all the time because I love it. The face, just the way they painted it, it looks really natural. I don't know how they do it or make it look like skin. And I also like the collar. That just gives me that new vibe for the Batman. So
yeah,
just overall, he's also my favorite Robin, Tim Drake.
Oh yeah, he's a great figure. That one and one of Mattel's really
before
cool
they kicked the bucket.
Yeah, he did, and he is a great character. Like in the animated series, they portray him so well, and he's pretty cool in the Arkham series too.
Yes, he is. Except he gets tricked by Batman, thrown into prison.
Yes, that didn't go down very well with. It didn't go very well with Oracle, who I'm going to choose this figure as my favorite. Arkham Knight Batgirl now.
How brilliant that hair is.
She's amazing. She's an absolutely amazing figure. My favorite Batgirl figure ever made. And I've seen this week that they're doing a Hot Toys version, and that is 100% going to be my next Hot Toys purchase. Yes. I'm gonna get that pre-ordered when it comes
down the rabbit hole we go.
Yeah, literally, because it's such an insane looking figure, and I would love to get another hero to go alongside Batman. I hope they do more Arkham figures. Like Nightwing would be cool next. But that Batgirl looks insane. I can't wait to get it. Perfect accuracy.
Well, then you'll have to get the Joker. That matches with her.
Joker, yeah. I'd love the Arkham Knight as well, because the Arkham Knight looks outstanding.
That's probably going to be so detailed.
Yeah.
That big.
Yes.
Well, any last words?
Well, thank you to everybody for listening and watching. And yes, hope you enjoyed it. And like Tyler says, go check out the back catalogue if you're bored, because we've got loads of cool episodes out there. Yes. And even back in the old days with our first few episodes, it's good fun listening back.
Before visuals.
before visuals, yeah. And you don't have to look at our faces then either.
Yes. We hope that if you are home and you're able to be off work, that if you had a beer or two, this helped take the relief of looking at us. But
yeah.
I usually a lot of people post like, like a day drink. It's like, that's hilarious. Like, why would you want to compromise your immune system? But anyways.
True.
I hope you guys enjoyed, and we will be back soon. And no delays here for us. So thank you for listening. It's been DC Figures and Collectibles.